Say girl, right? Say girl. I'm not gay. I'm grown. I'm not gay. I'm grown.
What's going on, family? David Andre Hines here with another episode of Pop TV Podcast. Today I have the one and only Dr. Reverend Cornelius Miller, my big brother. How you doing today,
Doing
sir?
good, man. Good to be here with you.
Good to see you, man.
Good to be seen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Before we dive into any of these questions, just want to know where your mind space at right now. What season are you in right now?
I'm in the season that God has done great things for me, and I got to tell somebody.
Amen.
I got to tell it. Not only do I got to tell it, I have to show it. So that's where I'm at.
Faith without works
is dead.
It's dead. Yes, sir, man. So let the people know where you're from and what do you do.
Okay, I'm from a state called Mississippi. Everybody said it's a state on the bottom, but we hold everything else up. I was born in a city called Louisville, Winston County. Went to college there, graduated college and high school, came here and took a job in post-education almost 5 years ago. I work for Augie. I am what you call an adjunct professor.
Okay.
I teach college curriculum, English curriculum, college English curriculum, and biblical studies for none other than Augie Stanton University.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's dope. How long you been doing that?
I've been in education this past August. It's been 17 years. I've been in post-education 5 of those 17 years.
That's a long time. So you must love what you do then, huh?
Love what I do. 8 more years I'm hanging the education hat as per as being in the classroom and going on to something else. Okay. So that would give me 26 years.
Amen to that, man. So did you grow up with your father in your life?
Grew up with my father, my grandfather, my great-grandfather. So
okay.
I'm blessed to have some kind of male figure. But yes, I grew up with my father in my life.
Because you don't often hear that. You say your father, your grandfather, and your great-grandfather. You don't often hear that a lot. That's something amazing. So that means you must grow up with a lot of love in the household.
A lot of love in the household. Missing in some areas. Some things were missing in some areas, but I could not say that they wasn't present as far as the visual view.
Okay. That's nice, man. That's like I said, you don't often hear that. In most cases in the Black community specifically, the fathers are missing. And then for you to have your father, grandfather, and great grandfather, that's
right.
That's something. So with you having your father, grandfather, and great grandfather, how do you think that might have impacted you growing up, just having those men in your life?
Some of the decisions as far as behavior wise is something to look upon, because I can always reflect in some essence of what they will expect of what I should do and what I should not do. My work ethics, watching my great grandfather work, oh man, once who pulled himself up from growing up as a sharecropper to being into the education system and working for the state system. He taught me impeccable work ethics, my religious basis.
Yes.
From my father being a deacon, my grandfather being a pastor, my great-grandfather being a pastor, it gave me some spiritual balance, taught me what a man should be spiritually, and not just talk about it, but live the life.
Yes, sir.
With my grandfather, it was just hands down remarkable.
Yes.
Remarkable. From the status of I love you, I'm here for you. Mm-hmm. It was always shown. So I learned work basics, my spiritual lifestyle, emotional expressions from those 3 men.
I'm glad you said something about your emotional expressions, because oftentimes we hear men shouldn't cry or men should show great emotion.
Yeah.
And so I'm glad you touched on that, because it's something that we need, and we need to let our men know that it's okay to have emotions towards something.
Oh yeah.
It's okay to cry about something. I'm a big cry myself. I love to cry, but yeah, man, we have to share with other men that having emotion doesn't make you weak.
No, it doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you less of a man. It does not make you even more of a extrinsic of a man. When I say that word extrinsic, that means in the thought of a man. You know, our thought pattern is so messed up
It is.
in some of our accuracy of what we think of ourselves because we let this emotion out, or what we say about ourselves. If we make a statement or like, oh, that is so beautiful. Our expressions is what make us as a person.
Exactly.
Our character.
Exactly.
It makes our character. It makes our well-being as a person. And it also shows us that we can relate and communicate with ourselves.
That's deep. It's okay. Well, how many kids do you? Well, how many? I'm gonna say children.
Children.
Mississippi. How many children do you have?
Children.
And what's the ages?
Okay, I have a 19-year-old of my very own. I have a 10-year-old. I have a 7-year-old, well, 8-year-old, and I have a 5-year-old. And I have two goddaughters that only dad they know.
Okay.
One is 22 and the other one is 21.
That's what's up. You know, it takes a special, strong type of individual to be a father to someone that's not biological attached to them.
And I often say it's a privilege and an honor, but yet strength.
Exactly.
To raise something that you didn't make.
Exactly.
And those two young ladies, which I should say my two older ones, they came in my life, little kids, walking down the street, coming by, just took a attached to me. And one told me one day when she got ready to graduate high school, matter of fact, she was valedictorian in her class, and while reading her speech, she says the greatest joy is being accepted by someone that she really didn't belong to. So that looks down the road a long ways on a personality,
right?
Their strengths, their conquering. Because you can conquer to look past something that's not yours easily. That's not my shoe.
Exactly.
That's not my paper I threw down, but I'll pick it up. But when you look in the human form, when you're liberating others, you're liberating God and you're liberating yourself. Exactly. Take a strong individual to look at life from that perspective.
It does, man. That's a blessing, man.
It is.
Yes, so are you married?
Yes, sir. Been together 3 years, been married, well, almost 4 years, been married, almost 3, to the beautiful former Yvonne Marie Collins, known to many as Lady Bird.
Lady Bird. So where did you guys meet?
Third Missionary Baptist Church.
Okay.
Right after COVID.
Right after COVID. Beautiful. That's we share that home, that church home. So yeah, I love them folks.
Yes, sir.
Do you think marriage is important?
Oh, marriage is just like medicine to a sick body. It's just like power to an uncompromising situation. Marriage is very important. And the thing about it is, with marriage is not just the end goal, but it's the start.
It's the beginning.
It's the beginning. It takes work. It takes work and it takes perseverance.
It does.
And marriage is honorable in the sight of God. He honors marriage, you know. To teach one of the human humanity of female and male, to be a good woman, to be pursued by a good man, you must show yourself that you are approachable. Exactly. Same as for the man. So if we want to teach true strengths and strengths in a relationship, we should always date to look for a marriage in the end game, which is the starting of a new life.
Yeah. Because I'm glad you say that. I like talking to a lot of older guys, and some older guys, they have this idea that once you get married, that's it. And oftentimes, I don't know if you know the statistics, but most marriages end, over 50% of marriages end in a divorce.
Yes, sir.
And it's because of that idea of, okay, I got married, that's that. But I've learned that once you get married, that's, like you said, that's the starting point. So if I had not gave my girlfriend flowers once I get married, that's when you should start doing stuff like that.
That's when it starts.
What it took to get them, it's going to take a little extra though to keep
Yeah,
them. You know what I mean?
take that and then some.
And then some. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's very important.
And being men, we should even not just with our daughters, but any female, a young male, female that will listen, male too, that will listen. We have to teach them. Stop giving marital treatment to men that are just boyfriends.
Mm. That's big.
That's right. You have to see what contentions of life do you have in that person's life and its effects. Okay, you're feeding him, you're cooking food for him, you're getting his work bag together, but you ain't married to him.
Exactly.
So in that same essence, why give him access to you when you can't even get access to him in a crisis in your life? Your car break down, but he can't come. He ain't coming.
Exactly.
Huh? Your bills are due, and you done got laid off your job.
If his ladies listening, look, listen.
Yeah, and this is from not just a father, from a man perspective, because fathers date your daughters.
Exactly.
Take them on a date and order the food for them.
Exactly.
Open the door for them.
What it's supposed to be.
Let them know how they should be loved, and treat them the way they want to be loved. So don't give a man full access if he's not your husband. In no return and no in essence to look to be his husband or you be his wife or her wife.
That's major. I didn't know you was gonna come give me all this now. Come on now. So what are some things that you know now that you wish you knew in your early stages of fatherhood?
Listening. I think we talked once. Listening and listening is compromising to what you're listening to. Don't always have the answers and your answer alone. Listen to what the individual is speaking to you. As my daughter, she always said, "Daddy, you ain't listening to me." I said, "I am listening." She said, "No, if you was listening, you wouldn't have said that, and I just told you that was the problem." And then I took that under consideration that when you're listening, don't always have your mind always made up.
Exactly.
So if I would have grasped that at an early age, in an early fatherhood, my daughter would me and my daughter both probably be further down the road than we are today.
Okay, elaborate on that a little bit, because that is the next question. What difference would that have made? If you listening more and
Okay, my daughter is not bragging, but it's a blessing. My daughter is
brag.
She's exceptionally smart. She is smart. She has.
Let me hold on 1 second. When we have something that we are proud about, we should be able to brag about it.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Forget stepping on anybody's toes. This is what I'm proud about. You know what I mean?
Sure, you're right.
So carry on, brother.
And she's exceptionally smart. IQ is equivalent out this world. She's at the University of Columbia in New York, and she's just awesome. But had I took the necessary steps of listening and opening my eyes and not being so selfish to my needs, I would have sought the fact that she could have been further down the road than she is now. Probably on somebody's TV show doing science and fictional and non-fictional things. But what I have learned is that being a father, your children's wants and needs come before yours.
It does.
But being 15 years old, I didn't know that then. I was worried about me having a good. At 15, what do you want to do? Hang out, be cool with the friend, have fun. But I had made a decision to take a grown adult action that led to an adult result, and that was my precious gem. And with that being said, I listen more now. Before she opened her mouth, I used to be able to just say, you did this and that. And our relationship has grown and has progressed rather than digress on me wanting to be right rather than listening. And it's so small. It's something so small that is yet so powerful.
It is.
The Bible said the tongue is powerful. The ship is turned by a little small fickle. A small fickle can move a big vessel. So that listening is a small vessel, but yet contentious to big decisions. And sometimes we have to look if we had to listen.
Yeah, I never heard. I know that, but I've never heard it and put it in perspective. That small little
That fickle
fickle,
moves a big vessel.
all they need is that little bit of wind, and then it could turn a whole ship around.
Life is just like that.
That's amazing.
Life is just like that. And life is so wonderful. I'm not saying that we have every given perfect moment, but even in our worstest moment as men, we can look because we have been dominated to do some great things. I have made you a little lower than the angels. I have made you steward over. He said, I have given you dominion over the beasts of the fields and the fowls of the air. God has given us a great, oh man, he's given us a great retention of responsibility. And even as a man, we should be able to grasp it because we are in the image of God, made mighty and strong. I often use this, learning, talking about what I know now. Old men's are for counsel, young men's are for war.
War, exactly. I agree.
Yeah.
Learn from your elders.
Yeah.
And you protected by the young and strong.
Yeah. That listen, just to listen. Just to listen.
Yes. Okay, now, man. What are some things that you are trying to improve in as a father?
Always allowing my children to know I'm a father. Of course, I'm a father that's raising children out of the house.
Right.
But I know that I have that strength and I have that authority to raise them wherever I'm at.
Exactly.
So my goal is I'm visible because when they need me, I don't care what I got going on. I'm packing up and I'm going.
Yes, sir.
Even if it's just a kindergarten graduation or a ceremony. My focus is to be more vigilant than I was last year, where I made 4 or 5 events last year. This year, at least try to make 5 or 6, 7 more. And I want them to understand that no matter where I am, I love them and I'm there for them. You're not the reason why I'm not in the home.
Exactly.
But I am the reason that you are here, and it's my responsibility to adhere to your presence, that make sure that you feel my embrace.
That's one thing I try to make sure that when my kids call me, I show up. Because you never know, it might be a moment where they need you and they really need you and you don't show up, and that can change the whole
perspective of how they see you, how they view you.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I don't ever want to be a dad that said I was going to do it and didn't do it. Because the older you get, your children remember the most fecal thing, the most simple thing that you didn't do versus what you thought you should have done.
Exactly.
You did it.
I've experienced that letdown a time or two.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that's big, man. That's like you say, what you think is important.
It's not,
you know what I'm saying?
You
put all that attention, but to the child,
it ain't nothing.
A simple, how was your day?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the smallest thing.
I think of it, look at this retrospective and perform, because let me tell you, share this with you, big bro, little bro. I remember my daughter wanted a dollhouse. My 10-year-old wanted a Barbie dream house for Christmas. And I bought it, did what I, worked and got it or whatever. Check this out. She never did engage herself with that dollhouse. So except the dollhouse, she got it. I guess it didn't mean much to it anymore.
Right.
But she had the little chairs and the high heels from the doll playing with, without playing with the dollhouse. That didn't mean nothing to her. But those little small things, those little trinkets that came with it, enthused and captivated her. A child will remember the day that you made them cry rather than the day you made them smile.
Wow. That is so true. That is so true.
Most of them will always remember what daddy did rather than what daddy did not do.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Because I can remember a lot of stuff my dad
did not do. That's right.
And I would have to like really sit down and think, like, the time when he did do stuff, that was that was impactful to
and
my
very
life.
positive. Yeah.
Mm, yeah, that's crazy. But so you said just being more visible,
Being more
and you
visible.
and you spoke on it a little bit, but elaborate on why is it important to you to be more visible?
The reason why it's more important to me the visual is because I want them to see their father in the image that he did. He always done this. He always showed up.
Mm-hmm.
He always made his presence known in my life. Like I said, whether it's for a graduation or award ceremony, I want to be there.
Exactly.
That's your achievements, and the reason why I don't want to just be that father that can be visual in your ups,
Exactly.
in your success, in your great moments, but I want to be there too, even when you needed me to wipe away your tear, to put a band-aid on your. I mean, I try to take those opportunities with my children and make them last a lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my baby girl Chloe, she was here for the summer.
I got a chance to meet
You
Chloe.
got
Full of life.
Yeah, she
Full
is.
of life.
And Chloe says to me, "Dad, we always spend the summer with you, and they are always great."
Mm.
See, that made me feel even more impactful that they know where they're gonna be at for the summer.
Right.
It's small, but yet it's important to them. So then, as the summer went, they normally know we'll go up to the park or whatever. This time she said, "Well, Dad, we didn't go to the park like we did last year because we was in church for vacation Bible school a lot." She said, "But at least I got to hold your hand and walk out in the community where we live in. It's small."
Exactly.
That's corny to me. I had to go walk to the mailbox, you know what I'm saying? But me being present, being visual, when she grow up, she'll be able to say, "Well, my dad did this with me."
Her expectations.
At that stage was so high that even in the midst of her growing into a young lady, they'll get higher.
Exactly.
Because she's gonna expect you to be there.
Exactly. Yes, that's important. No?
Powerful. That is so powerful.
It is,
and it can move trinkets out of your way to let you know that your children look to you. Your children look to you. And I noticed something with you. You don't have a girl the first.
Nope.
But those boys look to you just as and I don't want to, I hate to use this term, but it's true. Them boys look to you just like a girl look to their daddy.
Yeah.
You know why? Because you've been there.
Mm-hmm.
Just imagine out of all this time you and their mama been together, been married, they was to wake up and you was not there. Not on contentious of death,
Right.
or because of decision you decide to split. You still have to make that available to them that I'm your dad and I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody will ever understand what it's like to raise a kid in a home that you was once there and you're no longer there.
I couldn't imagine.
Couldn't imagine. Not only does it hurt you as a father, but it really traumatizes the children.
Mm-hmm.
And I can tell you that my children were told us, my oldest daughter said, "Dad, when you left to go to Iowa, it was almost like you didn't go anywhere because you on the video every day. You calling me every day." I said, "That's my job.
Mm-hmm.
That's my purpose in your life.
That was intentional.
It's intentional. I want you to know that I'm here. I'm going to be here."
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, the best thing they could ever did made FaceTime and messages and video.
You talk to anybody, anywhere.
I can see her emotions and not just try to figure out how she really feel about things.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that. I love that they're going to call me every morning before they go to school and get on the bus and they say, "Daddy, we ready for prayer." See, you have to establish a symptom of what you want in your children and what you want from your children. That's something they'll never forget.
Exactly.
Dad pray with us every morning.
Yes, sir.
And at night, I pray with them at night. I don't care where I am. My kids will tell you in school, you ask Chloe, "What time you going to be at?" 8 o'clock. So, Dad, you got to call us early so we can pray. And I love that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I know we might have a listener out there that might be stuck or they might be lost or just confused. What's one gem that you would like to deliver that they might apply in their life today?
You can make it. No matter what is being thrown at you, you can make it.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why you make it, because the Bible tells us that the joy of the Lord is our strength. And you can find joy in anything.
Yes.
Even in your worst situation. See, joy is not contingent on how you feel, but joy is contingent on what's going on and who you know. Happiness is to continue on what's going on, what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But when you're happy, let's just say temporary feeling, but when you have joy.
Hold on. You just said something.
Uh-huh.
Happiness is, you say, based on
What's happening right then and there.
Wow.
Like this morning, I'm very emotional. I want to share. I'm very emotional because something happened a couple of days ago that I didn't even know that it could happen so fast. And it was with a relative that I hadn't saw in a while. And he's a little kid, and he then went from talking to me and laughing with me at the gas station last Wednesday before leaving to go to Mississippi, then come back to give news that he had an asthma attack last Friday.
Mm-hmm.
He panicked. He's been on a ventilator. He's brain dead.
Wow.
And I had the opportunity to confide in and take joy in that you asked me to come and do this podcast with you. And it would not let me get in that state of depression because I'm there.
Mm.
And that's why I find joy. Somebody's going through
Some.
way worse than I am.
Yes.
Somebody feel like that they can't get their finances where they want to be, their mental appeasement to where they want it to be, their family etiquettes and communications not where they want to be. But I want to let you know, don't give up. Keep going. Joy, the joy of the Lord is our strength. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. The joy and the salvation of the Lord give me peace to overcome all things. Yes. Happiness comes in the contentment of what's happening. Mm. But joy is in the contentment of what's going on.
Yes. Sir.
Huh? You got a joy that surpasses all understanding. The reason why you can go to bed at night, even when your world is falling down, and still give God thanks, is because you got joy. Yes, get a hold of some joy. Don't let life suck you up and take all your joy from you. Because when you trusting in God, you have joy based upon the measures of your faith. Faith is giving you the sight of what can be, what will be. Mm. But when you are living in the moment of just a temporary happiness, it's only giving you temporary feeling. Mm. And now you're in a life we don't need temporary. We need long-term. Longevity in our joy, yes, in our peace, in our faith, in our love. And that does not build you as a person, individual. It can build you as a father, build you as a husband, build you as a better employee on your job, a better Christian, a better church member. Because when you get the joy of the Lord, you can whip it in your checkbook. Mm-hmm. You can whip it into your children. Mm-hmm. You can whip it into your household. You just speak it. You speak. You can speak what you see. You can say it until you see it. And that's what I believe that this whole overhaul of this podcast is telling us means that, hey, we're not lost. Nope. We haven't lost. The battle has just begun. Yes, and we got to fight until we see it through. You know, I mean, even on record, I want me and you and to get us some group of strong men. Let's take the Quad Cities by force. Cause you know what, Dave? I like to look at ratings, and I love to look at advance of things have been quoted ratio by
statistics.
Yeah, period. Right. Point blank. What other folks think? Right. That we have come a long way in manhood and fatherhood.
Oh yeah, we on the rise.
It's better than what it used to be.
We on the rise.
We can talk about a lot of men and how they may have been not so faithful to one woman. But you think about something. Men back then, they worked. Yeah, they may have had 2 or 3 households, but the lights went off in none of them.
The lights was not off in none of them. Nope.
Are we congratulating that? No, we're not. Because they stereotype us right as beasts and men that don't want to do nothing but lay up and have sex and make babies. That's far from where I come from. But what I will tell you is We are on a rise. It's a new day
It is.
for manhood.
It is.
It's a new day
Yes,
for
sir.
fatherhood.
Yes, sir.
It should be a new day for Christianhood.
Yes, sir.
And I'm amped up about it. I'm amped up because if you can teach me something that I didn't know, being a man or being a father, I know there's something that I could teach you about being a man and being a father.
Exactly.
But we got to put down our preliminary thoughts of thinking that it makes us weak. There's nothing weak about telling another man you love, because God is love.
God is love.
Not was love or going to be love. God is love.
And will always be love.
Always be love. But we are the mechanism. We are the legs of the love. We are the hands of the love. Mm-hmm. We are the mind of the love.
Yes, sir.
And we should have the heart of the love.
Well said. I ain't know this man was finna get up here and get the preaching of this, man. I did. That's wonderful, man. And I really enjoy you coming. I know it's somebody out there that you touch many points in their life, and they're going to be able to utilize this information and become a better individual, become a better man, become a better father, become a better Christian, become a better species. You know what I mean? So I appreciate that. Give me one father that you've interacted that you would like to tip your hat to, someone that's whatever the case may be.
Okay. I'll say I do this. My great grandfather.
Okay.
I learned one of the most valuable life lessons, and there was many lessons he's taught me. Mm-hmm. One time he sent me and my cousin out to tear an old barn down because he's going to build a new one, a shed. And he said, I'm going to town and I'll be back. He said, y'all should have this thing tore about halfway down. Man, we didn't know how to do it. He gave us pitchforks and all that, axes and sludge hammer, and we laid underneath the tree. He said, why y'all hadn't done that yet? We said, we didn't know how or whatever. He said, I tell you what, when I come back, when I get through with y'all, you won't never let a man-made object outthink you. I'm like, wow. He said, there's nothing in life that you can't make happen unless you really don't want it to happen. I'm like, wow. I think about those words now. Then he taught me not only that, how to not let things outthink me. Mm-hmm. He says, where there's a will, there's a way. He said many people quote that, but they don't really know what they believe what they're saying. Right. He says, anytime you want better for yourself, you're going to do better. You're going to surround yourself in a better situation. My great-grandfather, you wouldn't believe this, on my mother's side, he went only further. The only further he went was a 4th grade, but he worked a state job for 40-something years and he ran his own business. Mm. He worked a state job and ran his own business for 40-something years. And he taught me how to be a good steward over my money. He says, when your outgo exceeds your income, then your upkeep will be your downfall.
Yes, sir.
I said, wow. He said, I'm trying to tell you, baby, don't spend more than you have.
Living beyond your means.
Don't live beyond your means. You can't do champagne on the Budweiser budget. And then the most profound thing he taught me, Dave, was whatever you do it out of love. Yeah. And whatever you do it with a heavenly mind. And I have contracted from those words from a man no more than a 5th grade education, who set the stabilities of my family and built from my grandfather to my father to my mother to where we are today. Because he over defined the odds of what statistics said.
Exactly.
Real quick, we stereotype people. Mm-hmm. We do it. Even as Christians, we do it. Ask me how. Let me show you. I come up to you and say, David, you remember Bob? Mm-hmm. You like, no, I don't know Bob. You know Bob. Bob with the green truck. Mm-hmm. Or do you know Janice? No, I don't know. Janice with the blue hair. We stereotype people, not that we do it intentionally, but this is just how we remember people. Right. But the Bible tells us, how do we stay the same when Christ has come to set us free? They do it biblically. If God has set us free, why do we still carry those marks and carry those names and those rituals? As a man, we have to live beyond what people think of us, with not letting them know that we know what they think of us.
Mm.
Because what people think about us ain't none of our business, no way. So look at this.
I like that.
The woman with the issue of blood. Why are you saying the woman with the issue of blood? Why you can't say the woman who's now here? We have to change our perspective of things. You know them men. All they is some. Why do we get? Why do it have to be that? Why it just can't be a strong black man
Right.
or a man who's turning his way to be a strong black man? And if we get who we are and we get who God made us to be, we can live beyond what people think about us or what people say about us or how people see us. And that's why my grandfather told me, and that's why I'm giving kudos and honor to him. Don't ever do anything without the measures of love. And when you do it with a heavenly mind. And that's how I've got as far as I've gotten in life. Because I don't want to do nobody no more justice than I can do them.
Mm. That's amazing. Man, this was a wonderful interview, man. I really appreciate you coming out, giving me your time.
Yes.
You're very busy and very booked and busy, but I appreciate you, man. Taking time out your busy schedule.
I love you, bro. I love you, man.
Yes, this was rich, man.
Yeah.
Very let the people know where they can find you on social
media. You can find me on Facebook as Cornelius Miller. Instagram is Doc Miller 13. You can get me on Snapchat is Cornelius Miller 19. And also on TikTok, Cornelius Miller. Find some inspirational singing. Me dropping nuggets every once in a while just to let you know. Hey, if a Robin can say thank you, we can do it too.
Yes, sir. I like that. Appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir. Love you, man.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and click that bell notification on the side so you can be notified each time we drop a video. If you know anyone that might benefit from this video, please do share. The rise of fatherhood starts here, and we need your help. Thank you.